Hey everyone, this is awesome. It's me, Kevin Austin. I'm in my KART and I'm on a Google Hangout call with my buddy Donnie, and you are listening to the least CC powerful podcast on the internet. It's time to turn that dial to Nintendo Drive. Bong! Hi, Caro. Hi, Donnie.
The Nintendo Shack is back. Welcome to PSVG's Nintendo Shack, a proud member of the PSVG Podcast Network and the newest member to the family over at Make Us Better. Find out more at patreon.com/makeusbetter. I am Jason Lacey, and the crew is all here. We're all here. Not only am I making an appearance 2 weeks in a row, but Caroline is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Donnie Reese is here.
Greetings, Koopalings.
Donnie, the Hollow Knight background.
You like that? I did that just for you. That was specifically for you there, sir.
I haven't even looked.
I've got the
nice.
chat up, got the Hollow Knight, got the tweets out. Look at this. It's like a professional situation going on over here. It's like we've done it before.
Man.
Jeez.
It only took 30
at least
episodes.
One of us here is capable of hosting a stream. Not me. Not me.
Okay.
Got Chalfie in the chat already. What's up, Chalf?
We're going on a walk with Chalfie.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm excited to be here, guys. I am on rum number 2.
Octopath Eve.
That is for you, Caroline. I'm on run number 2 because I am, ladies and gentlemen, or at least my Shack compadres.
You're on vacation, right?
I am 12 hours away from vacation. I have one more day of work.
And when people listen to this, you'll be on vacation.
I'm on vacation. Donnie's on holiday. And I'm going to a cabin in the woods. I'm going to a beach near the ocean. And guess the number one goal for Donnie's holiday is no typing. So you're not going to see me in Discord. You're not going to see me on the website. You're not going to see me in chats or pods or anything. So let's just say this now. You two, maybe use the Hangout or find a guest that can host you next week. I guess you can find another guest that can host you on a different channel. Or
maybe we'll just use Streamlabs.
Just go Hangout Live. Or maybe use Streamlabs. There you go.
Well, here's the thing. I had when I did it with Lucas moons ago, flawless. Worked had no issues whatsoever, and my layout was still there. I had the 3 windows set up, I had it sized, and I could not for the life of me capture my source and get it, or like specify the source I wanted to capture. It was either full screen. I couldn't say, no, I just want this little bit. I just want this little square, you know? So that's what eluded me. I could not figure out for the life of me how to do it.
Does it not resize with like the Alt key like OBS does?
Well, I use OBS because I don't have anything. I was using OBS because I don't have anything set up in Streamlabs.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah, so for me, it's the Alt key. You use the Alt key and then the Control Shift key. You resize some stuff. Anyway, this is Nintendo Shack. This isn't learn how to stream Shack. Like, where are we going? Let's get off of this tangent right away.
I literally would need a 2-second screen share. We'd be golden. I'm confident, Donnie.
I have faith in you two. I have faith in you two in my absence that you can not have a guest. And so here's the other thing. I would implore you two to not have a guest. You don't have to go 3. Like, I would love to hear Jason and Caroline just shack it up a bit. Like, I like the intimate 2-person shows. I always think it's really fun. Like when Dev and I've done the shows, and me and Kevin, and I've done duo shows with Caroline. Like, you really get to explore the space, you know. So that's good
with
stuff.
The cowbell.
Cowbell, yeah. So anyway, yeah, this is my last Shack, and I won't be on PSV this week either. So like, I'm just going to be off of podcast.
He said this is my last Shack. Like it was the end.
Oh,
he's done.
Yeah,
closing this chapter on your life.
No, I'll do that in much bigger, grander fashion. I've got some news to cover. The title of the episode is Octopath Eve, so we're going to talk about all this Octopath that comes here in the next 48 hours, and then talk about maybe what we've been playing, if we've got some time, maybe. I got a lot of news.
We got some questions.
And yeah, I do have the questions. I have the questions right here in my notes. That's right.
You are the question keeper.
All right, so let's dive in. Nintendo is releasing a new Switch hardware SKU, or at least hardware SKU. Do you guys see that?
Yes.
So they've changed up the internals to make it less hackable. And they didn't.
Well, we knew that was coming.
They didn't tell anybody. They just did it. So here's my question for you two: can I sell my hackable
Yes.
Switch now for more money and buy one of the new ones? Because if I could flip it, that would be a sweet, sweet deal. I wonder if this will be
No
like
doubt.
the PlayStation 3 that was backwards compatible. That like 2 or 3 years from now, people are gonna be seeking out that one that they could that they could break, versus the ones that are locked down. That's pretty
It's
cool.
like the 3DS cartridge, the Freaky Forms Deluxe. It's like this random cart that nobody cared about the game. It was just something that they could use to
Yep.
homebrew their 3DS for streaming
Perfect.
purposes.
The big news that happened since you guys were on with N64 Josh, which I'm a little upset I got to miss. Although I did write a featured contributor stuff for him, so hopefully you'll see me over there. But I'm excited to have him back.
Yeah.
The next
Josh
time,
is the
I'm pretty
man.
sure we can work something out.
yeah, that'd be fun. The big news that happened since last week is that Warframe was announced, coming to Switch. Warframe, the third-person co-op shooter MMO thing, I
Yeah.
guess. I've
Yeah.
never played it. I don't know what Warframe is.
I played it for like a half hour
Okay.
a long time ago, and the game's changed so much since then, so it doesn't even count.
So the thing that I was going to say that I know about Warframe is I know that it was a PS4 launch title or launch window, I think. And I think a lot of reviews were like lukewarm on it. And then apparently 2 years later, it became like an amazing game. It's like it launched as a 6 and now it's like a 9. But, sites don't re-review things or update things. So, like
Right.
that stuff is out there. I had invited Kyle onto our show, but he couldn't make it. We were going to have Kyle, our Warframe foreign correspondent, come tell us all about the game. So, Jason, my only question for you is this major? This is the major port for
that
Panic
makes it
Button.
work. I don't know if it classifies as major or not, so to say. I think it's a big deal. I think it's another big get. The fact that we've got a great free-to-play game in Fortnite on the Switch. Now we've got Warframe coming to the Switch. Paladins is eventually going to be free-to-play. There's all these free-to-play options coming, and I think it fills another niche that the Switch doesn't currently have. We don't have a lot of shooters, especially that are co-op based. And I think this is like Warframe has raids, it has story content, it has cooperative missions, it has just your standard PvP. So I think that's a big deal on the Switch. I think it fits well, and I think it just satisfies a hole in that current market that we don't have. I mean, I don't play it, but now if it's going to be on the Switch, will I play it? Yeah, just like that Destiny mobile game that Daniel's talked to us before that's coming. What is it?
I was going to ask you, is it fair to call Warframe the Switch's Destiny?
No.
That I don't think quite that far, but I mean, it's very much in that a similar mold.
Okay.
I think, I think it's again, voice chat. That's the thing. We're getting more games like this. We don't have a simple voice chat solution. Is that
Hey,
say
you can
though?
use your
Is it going to
phone,
be
the Nintendo
is it-
Online app?
God, is it going to be
It's
like?
simple.
Is it going to be like Fortnite? And this is going to have it in there. But again, that's not quite so simple because, like, okay, for me, my dock is literally right here, and I can plug headphones in if I need to. But if you're on a TV,
Yeah,
I mean, that
doesn't work.
not nice. It's not nice. But I think it's a big deal. I mean, I don't. Here I am. I'm just contradicting myself now.
So
but,
and we talked about this the last show I was on. When they said major from a studio that did Rocket League, Doom, and Wolfenstein 2, I wouldn't consider Warframe major. But however, I said that in our Discord over there in the Make Us Better Discord. Come join. And everybody was like, "This is a huge deal." So what do I know? I don't know.
Yeah.
We're just in our little Nintendo bubble.
Like
and
right
Yeah.
now, this is Cordy. It's been on Steam since 2013, right?
Right.
Score rank 80%, user score 91, Metascore 71. There's like 20 million to I can't. It's shifted here, but there's like over 20 million people that own this apparently on Steam.
So the question that I have, really, the only question I really need to know is, how is it monetized? Is it like Fortnite? Does it have seasons where I just keep pumping money into the arcade, or can I just like buy it? Like, is there a point where I can just like give them $50 and never be bothered again?
That I'm not quite sure. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's a way you can customize your character with skins and things like that. I'm sure that's tied to it. I think at one point it would have been, but I've heard that Warframe isn't like it's not pay to win.
Okay.
I've at least heard that much about
So my
it.
thing is like I hope it's not like pay to. I mean, if they have stuff locked behind paywalls, I hope that I could just like buy it as opposed to being constantly nickel and dime. The nickel and diming is the part that I'm never like. I don't like the just give us money indefinitely.
Yeah,
that turns me off almost immediately.
I'm not sure if there's a crafting system or things like that, but I'm using Steam Spy to pull this data, so this is not be all end all. But as of peak concurrent players yesterday, 91,600. Cool. So I mean, and that's just on Steam. I mean, this is out on Xbox and PS4 already.
And it's worth mentioning that Warframe has no date. We have no window.
Yep.
We don't know. They just announced that that's the next game that they're bringing.
It sounds like no crossplay or no sync between your accounts.
No crossplay, no cross progression, and piggyback. That's a good segue. Thank you. It's worth mentioning that Nintendo in their investor call this week said that they want to help anybody that wants to do crossplay. You know, it's like Xbox getting a lot of love for the crossplay, and Nintendo's right there. Now, the difference between the two is it doesn't appear that Nintendo is like letting devs just do it on their own. It's kind of maybe it's like hey, if you want crossplay, we want to help you make it. So the thing that I wanted to ask you, because there's like a bunch of news stories that I think are kind of together, so I'll go ahead and cover this one too. Like Rocket League is getting cross-party support across
that's
PC,
huge. That's huge.
Xbox, and Switch. So you can
I wanted
party
that
up with
since
your
that
friends.
came out.
That's insane. Like that's insane. You think about like 2 years ago. This is an insane like era that we're starting to enter into.
Yep.
So
it'll use what? Refresh my memory. Who's the developer of Rocket League? Psyonix. So you have to use like a Psyonix account essentially. I think is what it. Because that's like why I stopped playing it really on the Switch. Because Lucas had it on PC. He was the only person of like one of my good friends that had the game. I had it on Switch. I mean, we could do custom battles, but if we can't get the room filled, that's not so much fun.
Right.
But now, I mean, he's got a Switch now, but I don't think he'll buy Rocket League because he's got it on PC. But now that that's an option, I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah, so we're living in this world where you can party up across 3 different platforms. PlayStation.
It's like the beginning of the Smash Bros. Commercial on N64. Imagine me and you and you and me.
Hey. Caroline,
and then they just start
Caroline's the
on
official singer of Nintendo Shack. Okay, Jason? I don't know what's going on, but like, dude, you just got here. Okay, she's been here. She's the official singer of Nintendo Shack.
Whatever.
Say that
you shave your beard, and then it all just goes.
I can't even say that with a straight face. So it's crazy. So we're getting all this cross-platform stuff. It's crazy that Warframe's not doing it, or at least now. And then it's also crazy that like Fortnite has voice chat built in. So the question that I wanted to ask you guys, do you think that like Fortnite had the muscle, considering how popular they are, that they were like, we're not going to bring the game to Switch if we can't do voice chat natively? Do you like, is there like some favoritism being played here on Nintendo side, Caroline? What do you think?
I don't know about that.
Okay. It seems like a lot of little deals, little favorited things are happening.
Yeah, but I don't think it's favoritism. I think it's more being careful.
Okay.
They're very cautious.
Yeah.
About everything. I think they're just picking and choosing and hoping that if one thing works out fine, then they can expand. But I don't think it's favoritism.
What do you think, Jason?
I don't know if they said we wouldn't bring it, but I at least can say it's like, hey, is there a better option? Is there a better way? Come on.
So the question is, why aren't other games taking advantage of it now?
Because I mean, it was a big deal.
Opens the floodgates, right? Like,
right. Well, now I think it's really been pushed in the public consciousness. So now everyone's aware of it. So now I think we're going to have to see some more games. Because wasn't it? Isn't Payday 2 on the app?
Yeah.
It's
I think everything else is on the app. There's no other game but Fortnite.
The only ones that actually like support it though, is Mario Kart, Splatoon. There's only like a few Nintendo games that actually even support it. So, I mean, and honestly, if I want to play Fortnite, I'd rather just use Discord.
I think Paladins doesn't.
Sounds
right?
better.
I think that's what I've been hearing from folks on Twitter is that Paladins doesn't, and people wish that it did. So the question's like, if you're Paladins, why aren't you? It's because Nintendo won't let you? It's interesting. I want to know. Yeah. I need some forthright. I need like what deals are being done? Because if you told me that
I'm going to let you guys do your thing because I have dogs I need to murder. Apparently, I'll be right back.
If you had told me that Fortnite was like, hey, we're not going to do this unless we can do voice chat, like, I would understand that. I would totally understand that. That's a core part of their game.
I would too, but at the same time, I think they realized how many people, like, the opportunity that presented itself by putting it on Switch, and like, look how many people still got on it on the Switch when they knew that voice chat wasn't a thing.
Yep.
And I don't know. I think it's one of those things where they just decided to cut their losses and just go ahead and do it. And if it gets implemented later, great. If it doesn't, whatever. There's this happy little accident that happened with the headphones.
I got 3 more news stories that I'll kind of bundle here together a little bit at least. So,
PSA: I don't condone abuse and neglect of animals. That's just for the camera. Just play it up. Play it up for the views.
Guys, if you didn't notice, he hit the mute button before he left, so we have no idea what he just told us. So two things. NPD, right? They've come out and said yesterday that they believe the Switch will be the best-selling console of the fourth quarter and the best-selling console in 2018. Now, I first want to ask you, what do you think? Do you believe in that? Do you think that's true?
No.
No? So Jason just no.
Of the full 2018 year, probably. The
To knock
quarter,
the PS4
no.
off of its pedestal is a big deal.
Yeah,
That's a huge deal.
I don't know.
Even with them selling as much as they like, even to get 1 year out of it would be a big deal. That said, they do have Pokemon and Smash.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Smash is the one that, and we mentioned last week what GameStop came out with, how much they sold the week after E3, and that Pokemon and Smash were the pioneers of like selling the hardware. So I don't know if it's enough.
Oh, Chelsea corrects us. He says that he's read that Paladins will have voice chat when the free version drops.
Which is next month, I believe. I've been hearing August was when that's coming.
Okay. I mean, PlayStation still has a really good lineup. They still have Spider-Man. You know, like, that's going to be big. But I could, if you argued to me that, hey, the majority of people that are going to buy a PlayStation already have, and that might present a window for somebody to topple them, I would understand that too. So it might be like a mixture of multiple factors. The fact that Nintendo has some heavy hitter IP, they're newer, and the fact that PlayStation's been on the market longer. Maybe. It's still a big deal either way, because PlayStation has just owned this generation from the start.
Yeah.
It'd be a big deal either way. And then the last talking point that I had was Nintendo says that they're not at the point where they can announce their entire product lineup for the fall. So piggybacking off of that, 20 million unit promise, there might have more stuff to announce, and that they expect to drop between 20 and 30 indie games a week.
Our wallets cry.
Not only our wallets cry, anybody trying to find those games cry. That's 120 games a month.
I've heard a lot of good discussion on this.
Ooh.
Well, do tell.
Various outlets. Just because, I mean, in theory, that sounds great, because you'd like to think we're going to get, this means they're going to have all these great top tier independent games coming. But no, that's not immediately what everyone thinks. We think back to the Wii and shovelware. Lots and lots of shovelware.
Mm-hmm.
Which we've seen already on Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, I do the weekly updates. I think every week I see 5 to 12 highlights. And I see 17 games I've never heard of, never seen marketed, and they're all mobile ports. And I don't mean to demean them or say that they're less important. It's just, apparently they're less important than Nintendo because they've never talked about them.
And of those 17, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Typically. I mean, one is a game we've heard of that's going to be good, and there's usually maybe 2 others that are like, oh, okay. And I will say that, there's just no way we can easily parse all the noise, and so you can focus on what's good. I mean, they've made some steps with they have the featured section and things like that. But
have you seen the tabs now in the feature? They even have tabs that you can go left and right on certain categories.
I don't think I've.
So there's like top selling or like top selling like this week, something like that. They're more. I've seen more menu options in the recent 2 weeks than I have before.
Yeah.
You'll spend more time in the eShop than I do.
I mean, I go in there and I'll look, and I usually I'll see a game I've never heard of before. I'm like, oh, I had no idea this was coming. It's interesting, and I found out now that I have to add it to my wish list right then, because otherwise you'll forget all about it. You'll never find it again, just because of the volume that's being pushed into there. But I don't know.
Caroline says no box, no buy.
For
look at
things.
we've got.
I went for Golf Story originally. I went for Stardew because I knew about Stardew.
Yeah.
I went for Yono, and bless that game's heart, it was not good.
The
elephant game, right?
Yeah,
the
I do
pinball
have
game?
more. The pinball game. What?
Justin's playing that one.
I want to play it. That one's on my short list. Yeah, you're right. I remember him saying that. Yeah, what is it called?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's something like Yono. Yoku?
It's something
Yono and the
Yoku's Island
Elephants.
Express or something
That's
like
it.
that.
It's a pinball Metroid game. Sounds awesome.
What the? Yeah.
It's right down Jason's alley.
Anyway, I'm reading what Chaffee says. I always get lost in staring at Caroline's weird shelf.
Well, we're not going to have the Caroline's Shelf podcast. You can save that for further streams coming to you soon on PSVG Podcast Network on YouTube.
I don't know, man. I just don't know. Like, if we get some more, like, there's so many good indie games we haven't even gotten yet. Like, look how long it took to get Hollow Knight. Look how long it took Pocket Rumble to come.
Still no Wargroove.
Where's Wargroove? Where's
Hawaii.
Shakedown Hawaii? I mean,
Yep,
It's never coming.
it's coming. Where's I saw another one. We're still waiting on Terraria, which is odd because I thought that would have been a pretty straightforward port.
Yeah.
It's on 3DS, it's on Wii U, it's on everything, and we're still waiting on that one. And I'm wondering how much
DLC too.
I'm wondering on how much like the waiting that we're waiting on is like a window, because it seems like we're getting, and I love it, by the way, and just to preface this, I love this, but it seems like we're getting really short announcement windows. It's like, hey, remember Pocket Night or Pocket Rumble? It comes out in 2 weeks. What? 2 weeks? So there's a lot of that going on right now.
Donnie, have you played Pocket Rumble?
No,
I still haven't downloaded it.
I'm not going to anytime soon, and maybe never will. I mean, Jason knows when Pocket Rumble was shown in that first Nintendo Direct, I was sold. I was on board. I was like, yes, this looks like a great game to tide me over until Smash comes. Problem is, that was a year ago. And now I know Smash is coming, and I'm already on a backlog, and I have no time to play Pocket Rumble, and as cool as it looks, like, I gotta stop buying games just to buy them. You know, I already have like 3 or 4 of those games on my Switch as it is, that I'm like, I'm like telling myself one day I'll play it, probably won't. And it's like, what is Pocket Rumble be the next one? Probably not. So I'm just like avoiding it, but it's cool. I'm glad people are liking it. I thought that people would. It's funny that it's come full circle, because when the game was shown, I was like, this is awesome. And I felt like I was the only person at PSVG that thought that. And then like full circle, it comes out, people like it, and they're like, Donnie, you getting it? I'm like, nope.
I mean, it would be fun to play with other people. That'd be the only reason I would get it. But I don't have local friends. Come on.
I mean, I was thinking it would be cool to
I hang out in my basement and talk to you guys all the time. I have no friends.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that just fell by the wayside. I feel like they're just late. You know, like the time for experimental cool indie games is early. You want to get in early before the flow of content comes on, and they launched right in the spigot. They launched a week before Octopath, and I'm still catching them old stuff. And there's all this DLC, and you know, like the spigot's on. Maybe one day when it's on sale or during a holiday or something like that, maybe I'll get it. But I don't think so. I am in that Jason Lacey mold that once Smash comes, like I'll never play another fighter, because it's like, why would I? Why would I play another fighter when I just have Smash? I'm not gonna play.
You say you never play another fighter. I say, why will I play another game?
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna play another fighting game until then. What do you guys think about the not yet at the point where they can announce a product lineup? I feel like we covered this thoroughly during our E3 recap, when we remind people that are new to the Nintendo ecosystem, you know, you 15 million that just bought a Switch that didn't own a Wii U. We told you they have directs, typically 3 to 4 a year, with a mini or 2 mixed in there. They have more things to announce. I would imagine a couple ports, a couple Wii U ports, maybe a Mario game, maybe a Zelda game. They'll throw one of those out in the fall. You know, just throw it out there, and we'll get all excited about it. We'll do like a virtual console. You know, they'll do like Mario Minis and Friends and an NES remix, and oh, by the way, Wind Waker's out, and and how excited will we be? Like, right? Like Caroline's eyes light up. We'd all be super excited about that. And it's all like old game, but they'll throw some of that stuff out there to mix in between some Pokemon and some Smash, and it's going to be a great year.
I think the reason that we're not getting a concrete thing yet is they're trying to, maybe deadlines are still trying to be met.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't know what's going to get pushed into 2019 and what they can, if I were them, I would be making sure that I had like the optimal lineup for the remaining 5 months. Are we 5 months left in the year already? God.
Yeah.
Make sure that I have, something that I can work with the deadlines and have something for August, have something for September, something that is pretty well interspersed until the holiday season. And then that the only reason I think that we haven't heard about it or we don't have anything concrete is because they're still just trying to work out the kinks.
So my thing is, like, I'm expecting, remember the spring direct that we got where they just like casually dropped Captain Toad and Donkey Kong? We'll have a fall direct where they drop 2 things just like that, and it'll be something, like NES remix or it'll be something like that, and then like a port of Mario 3D World or something. Hyrule Warriors we got. I firmly believe Nintendo is sitting on 15 or 20 Wii U ports.
Absolutely.
That they can hop at any time. And like they are literally just spacing them out to when they need them and when third parties arrive. So they're Dark Souls, when are you going? You're going in August? We'll push this to September.
Yeah. After we talked with Josh about that last week, I was looking at my shelf like, all right, which ones have not been ported yet?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
3D World is like gotta come. I no doubt in my mind. Just depends on what they're going to be
I'm putting a Mario game in the fall. It is a proven thing. If you look back at the releases,
they've got Mario Party already coming out, and
does
that
right.
count?
You're right. Yeah, I guess it kind of counts. I'm excited about that Mario Party.
Here's all I know: is you got Octopath coming. That's going to keep me occupied. August, I've got Overcooked 2 coming. That's going to keep me occupied.
You got Okami coming. And don't say you're not going to get it. It's only $20. It's only $20. It's only $20.
I'm going to get it.
And so, we have to get Mario Kart going again for Daniel.
Yeah, we got to play
Mario
Mario
Kart.
Kart.
So we got to get that going again.
When I get back from vacation.
So I've got all these things going to keep me occupied.
You got to buy the Labo, Jason, so we can drink and drive.
Yeah.
Get the Labo thing. Come on, man. At least let the Shack 3 get it. At least be us. If not us, then we can't expect anybody else to.
We're going to be like the motorcycle gang.
Yeah.
Like just riding.
Yeah, because Kevin's going to do it and Kahlo's in. Like, get the motorcycle thing.
I don't know. Kevin's turning his back on his gang. I don't know if did you listen to PSVG?
I mean, he's talking to Sean now. He's all up Sean.
Talking to Sean.
Capri,
He's talking to the guys on the PlayStation. I don't know. Oh, I'm going to get Overcooked on
Joseph,
PlayStation. And he was all hurt and left out because we excluded him from our Overcooked drinking. And he's like, oh, what about
we didn't
me?
exclude him. We told him to buy it on Switch, and he doesn't want to do it. He's talking about all these controllers he bought. It's not my fault you bought
all these controllers.
Trade them in. Get the watermelon Joy-Cons at dirt cheap prices when I tell you to. How excited are you, Caroline, about those? I remember you talked about
so the ones that were imported actually came in the other day, and
That's
the ones
ridiculous.
that were super cheap, they're coming tomorrow.
I didn't get to tell our Shack listeners that you already told the story, so I won't rehash it, but the watermelon Joy-Cons that I got for super cheap from Walmart happened to be reversed.
Oh,
yeah, they're the first ones.
So I have a right and a left green and a right and a left pink, which lets me like mix and match, do the different colors. Like, it's awesome. If anything, the kids are loving it. It's fantastic.
Hey, Lucas got his Ojo controller.
Oh, did he?
Oh,
does he like it? It's great.
He likes it.
It's a great
for like
Pro
the
controller.
price. I mean,
even without the price, it's.
I think his only complaint is he likes how the Xbox controller has a little more tactileness to it. Well, this is much smoother. Feels a little cheaper. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what do you expect? I mean,
I think it's a viable alternative to the Pro. Like, it's legitimately as good as the Pro. The only thing it doesn't do is Amiibo, which. Are you guys using Amiibo? Like that, we'll save that for another day. But like, I'm not certain that Amiibo's not dead. Like
it's the box
right there. They just right there.
Yeah, they're not. Nobody's doing much.
I was talking last night when I was being on the PlayStation cast. I was guesting. Holy crap! Right?
Wow.
And
I have this really scraping the barrel over there.
Trader.
I have this app now that's called Game Eye, and it catalogs all of your stuff and gives you the going rates for everything. Even out of the box, that collection is $2,200. Isn't that sad?
Donnie, you need that app. That's like sounds perfect for flipping.
Maybe.
It really is. Like that's kind of the reason that I got it, because I wanted to see like.
I sold
if
my
these
Grey
people
Joy-Cons
were-
for $60. It was a sweet trade for me. Guess who bought
Yeah.
Jack's Pokeball controller? This guy. Thanks, Walmart. Sweet deal. Let's get to the questions.
Yeah, we have one from the chat.
Ooh,
We should
go
get
ahead.
to right now from Eric Baker. Eric Baker himself. Will there be a Mario Kart 9?
You know what?
There
The
will
going
be.
thing. The going thing is just skipping 9 and going straight to X or 10. Like Windows did
Mario
it.
Kart
and
X.
iPhone did it.
Mario
So,
Kart Ultimate.
There won't be a 9 per se, but there will be a 10.
What
Yeah.
about Mario Kart Sunday, Sunday, Sunday?
I talked about this on the Nintendo Planet podcast, which I guest starred on, but I would prefer they just release an expansion pack. I would prefer during the Switch's life cycle if it was just Mario Kart 8 Deluxe plus more DLC. I would love a full
Sure.
battle mode, bring back all the other stuff. I need a block for it. Like, give me 5 new characters, 10 new tracks.
Yeah.
I will give them $40. They won't charge me that much,
think
but I will pay that much. Like, just do that.
Sure.
I think I said that on If We're in Nintendo this week. I'm hoping, like, what if we randomly just get, later on in the year, and they're like, hey, here's 2 new cups. Boom.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
It'd be sweet.
what?
I would
You know?
give them $10 for just Block Fort, which I think we've talked about before. Like, if they
Oh
just
my
did HD
God,
Block Fort.
Block Fort.
I'd give them $10 for just Block Fort. Just do that, and I would do
Just
Block
bring
Fort
back
stream
the
for like a month.
N64 competitive stages. Period.
Yeah. Oh man, if they did
green
an
and red
HD N64 Mario Kart collection, see,
Like, it's to that point, like we talked before, and I don't think everyone feels this way, but I think for a lot of people, myself included, the engine, the design of Smash U is like a great end base for that game, and
Yeah.
that you can just support and tweak and add content to. And I think that goes the same with Mario Kart. I think Mario Kart 8, I mean, that's like the top tier of Mario Kart. It's like,
Yeah.
it has to feel somewhat daunting to, like, how do you go up from there? So it's like,
Magnum opus is what it's called.
I think at some point you got to look and say these are. It's kind of like what we want Madden to do.
Yeah.
Get my coach mode cred here. It's like, at some point it's like, why are we paying $60 for Madden? Where it's just like, just give me a subscription and you just give me out rosters and patch the game.
what if they did events? What if they did like a season
that would be
pass for
sweet.
Mario Kart, like a Splatfest, but Mario Kart? I'd totally be down for that.
I mean, look what it's done for ARMS.
Yes.
I think the party crashes have been very popular in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Kaboski says Mario Kart Ultimate.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants, Mario Kart Ultimate. Okay, so today is July 11th, 2018, and it's a special day, especially for us Nintendo fans. It marks the
Yes.
3 years since Satoru Iwata has passed. Now, Caroline, you
Crazy.
didn't catch up with us during the day, but all of us come from this old podcast community, or at least a lot of us. And when this happened, we actually started a Mario Kart 8 Wii U stream that lasted forever. We went on for 4 or 6 weeks straight. Like, we kept going,
Yeah.
and it was a little hashtag for Iwata, which
Yep.
relates
Aw.
back to my tweet from earlier. So, Rich asked us, "What's your favorite Iwata memory, or factoid if you don't have a memory? Like, just you want me to
Please
go?
Understand.
Yeah. Didn't we all
mine
race
is
me as well? And that didn't we all
Yeah.
race as the Iwata me too?
Yeah, we all
That's
raced as the
awesome.
Iwata me, so it was like
oh.
it was like 12 Iwatas on the cart. It
My
was good.
favorite one, bar none, has got to be the Smash for Wii U 3DS opening.
Yes.
Of
Oh.
Reggie. Just the best.
Where he did like that. Was it like that? It's not Dalsin, but who's the dude that does the headbutt in Street Fighter? The
Oh yeah, I
Japanese
know what
guy.
you're talking about. He just goes straight
E
into
Honda.
it.
E Honda, yeah, like he did that. He was all like, "Ugh," and it's hit with the forehead. That was great, man. That was fantastic.
Awesome.
Oh man, it'd be so good. Mine is the 2005 GDC conference. If you've never watched on YouTube, you owe it to yourself. It's one of the best 20 minutes of video game content you can watch. Listening to him talk about the video game industry and his motivations and how he tries to bring joy. I think any Nintendo fan. This is where I wanted to take this question. Any Nintendo fan had to have been endeared to Iwata at that time. Now, I'm a hypocrite here because I often tell us that we get too close to these folks because we buy their products and whatnot, and it gets to this point where we just kind of buy into whatever they do. You know, like I am in that way with Naughty Dog. Like I would just buy whatever they do because that's how much I believe in them. Iwata kind of has that for me, and I wanted to ask you guys, piggybacking off this question, do you think any of the other stables, characters, you know, faces, CEOs can ever reach that Iwata stance? And I want to preface before I turn it over back to you guys, this isn't to start like a my dad can beat up your dad argument. What I'm really saying is with Iwata, the thing that makes him different, because, you know, like I love Phil Spencer, right? The head of Xbox.
I would say the only other probably close to it.
And then you've got Yosh, and he's great. Great. You know, like he does Beyond every year, and he's, you know, kind of funny, like stalwart. But the difference between them and Iwata is Iwata grew from the bottom. He was a developer at HAL. He made Kirby. He made Pokemon. Like, he grew from the bottom and became the guy. And I think that, at least for Nintendo fans, all bias aside, like, there's major respect amongst Nintendo fans because they know what he did for Pokemon. They know what he did for Kirby. They know, you know, like, they understand why, like, the 3DS and the Wii U, like, they see the vision that he had. And for me, it was just amazing. Like, so many of his amazing moments where he was holding bananas, or, I mean, the infamous, I mean, literally the famous, not infamous, the famous.
Yeah.
That'll never go away. That's his forever, and every Nintendo fan knows exactly what that means.
Please understand.
Caroline, do you think anybody could ever be
Dude,
Iwata?
I don't know. I have certain love for all of the Nintendo people, but Iwata was one of those that he was like the daddy. He was like the granddaddy, you know? And whenever like the father of the family kind of passes away, you're just like, there's this void, and there's always going to be this void. I do have feelings like that for Reggie and even for Bill Trennan. Like, I mean, those guys have really given Nintendo of America like so much, and whenever they're gone, it's going to be an issue too, for me at least. But I mean, like even Sakurai and Aonuma, I have such respect for because of all that they've given to us. But I do feel like that Iwata was definitely like that granddaddy figure that I can't even peg anybody that is close in relationship to him for like any other type of gaming industry type thing, not in Nintendo or otherwise.
Jason?
What specifically part did you want me to answer? Do you want my favorite memory, or
do you think any of the other faces in gaming can ever eclipse that Iwata status for you? I mean, again, not trying to get into the PlayStation versus...
Not for me, because I'm just not... I'm so out of touch now. Now that I was getting back into the Xbox, but, you know, with what had happened to me in my personal life, you know, I had to make the decision to sell that. So now I'm strictly a PC gamer and a Switch owner again. So, I mean, there's just... I don't have a reason to be invested in those markets. I mean, I do love... Like, probably the Xbox would be the next closest thing, because I do enjoy watching and listening to Phil Spencer. I think he has a great presence, and he's been the best thing to happen to Microsoft in that regard in a lot of years. But at the same point, it's a different pedigree there, you know, and I think, you know, Iwata was just something special. I think, you know, like the always story about when, what game was it? Was Pokemon was having problems with development, and then he cracked out the keyboard and hammered out code and fixed it, you know?
It's crazy.
I mean,
that's the thing that really separates him from everybody. Like, I have a special place for Numa, you know, Yosh, Sakurai, you know, Suda. You know, I've talked about that, but to be honest with you, if I could have had one person autograph my 3DS, man, I would have died to have had Iwata. Like, he really, for me specifically, it was a really special place because I knew... You know, you hear those stories, like those Nintendo, what do they call it? Those Nintendo, like, minutes or Nintendo talk? Like those, they used to do that.
Yeah, the minutes.
The developer interviews he used to do.
He used to do that with...
yeah.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And I'm so sad that they stopped doing them. Iwata asks. And you hear all these stories about how they used to code these games and, like, figure out all these tricks and everything to make them work. And it's like, to think of a CEO, you know, it'd be like if Aonuma ran the company, not just made the next Zelda game, or he didn't even make the Zelda game. He just visions it. and other people make it. To know that a CEO sat down and said, here's what the next Kirby game is, and I did it with my own bare hands, like, that's special. That's special. It's not just in video games. There are not many CEOs ever that have that type of intimate knowledge with their own product. You know, like how many CEOs are, you know, making the pizza or sewing the cloth or making the shoe, you know, like that's interesting. I've always thought that really separated him. So anyway, 3 years today. Really, for me personally, I can't believe that it's been that fast.
3 years, I know.
But I also feel like it's been forever ago. Like that feels like a lifetime ago. It feels like so long ago, and it's only been 3 years. We've done a lot in 3 years. Neoprime writes in with the next question, our last question. And this is a good one. He goes, I know Nintendo won't make this, but what if they made one final version iteration of the 3DS? Maybe a pro version that gave you the best experience across the entire DS and Virtual Console library. What would you want in that final 3DS console? Jason.
I think I want a different thumbstick than the circle. The circle
good
pad.
answer.
I think, not that I have a problem with it, but I just hear all the horror stories, especially people that played Smash 3DS and were smashing that thing off the handheld, you know. And to go along with that, something better than the C nub. I mean, that little
I don't
thing,
like the nub either.
I don't like the nub. So, and you know what? I want some contours. I want some contours to make it a little more comfortable for my hand. You know,
I like that.
I want the comfort grip.
Okay.
For my 3DS. So, but I mean, like I know we talked about this a little bit, and you know, Kevin mentioned storage. I don't think that needs to be a thing because it's so easy to upgrade the storage in the 3DS and the backup process. Like I literally took the SD card, copied it to my computer, put the other SD card in, copied it back, done. I mean, it was such an easy process.
On the new ones, you don't have to do that. You just pop them in and out.
Oh gosh! Wow. Okay. Yeah, social that now. What's our resolution on the screen on the current
Like
XLs?
480p.
Yeah, I think 480.
That was going to be mine. I'd like to double.
Well, here,
resolution.
let me just keep randomly ideas, please. Someone else step in, and I don't want to. Oh, I was going to say that.
Everything needs to be better. I want the full DS and 3DS library. Available.
Yes, that was on mine too.
Period. I mean, I have a lot of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games on my 3DS currently, but there are a ton of DS games that I would have loved to have played. That if they just threw them in the eShop, I think I would buy it. Like all that DSiWare that. I mean, there's a lot of it there, but there's a lot of it that I still just, some things I'm still learning about. I'm like, it was DSiWare only.
This might be a dumb question, but the new like the 2DS variants that they're putting out, are those are like the new 2DS, right? They have the upgraded processor, right? So they can run the Super NES VC stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be mandatory. My thing is, I wanted I'd like a bump in the resolution on the screens. It'd be great if we got like a Vita screen or something like that. That'd be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be great if they started. Excuse me. I thought I was gonna cough. I think it'd be a great way to send the 3DS off if they came out with I won't say a digital only model, but I'll say a model that comes loaded with like 30 games. If they just do like a 3DS Classics, and it's just like Link Between Worlds, Mario Kart, Mario Golf, and they just throw them all on there and they just keep the same price. So like a year from now, we're all like, insane. 3DS is dead, and they're like, is it? Here's a 3DS and a bunch of 30 games, and like, awesome. Oh man, and they just keep selling. That would be amazing. I have always wondered like why more companies don't do that. Like nobody does that, right? They pare down the hardware as cheap as possible, and they let it die. And it's like, why are you letting it die? Throw 50 games on that bad boy and keep selling them. Like, keep making them. Because their library could do it. They could easily take 30 hits and put on that bad boy, and they could mix in some Virtual Console, and it would be, oh man, that'd be so good. That'd be so good. So yeah, Neoprime, thank you for the question.
That's a good question.
Now
It's weird. It's weird once you go back to 3DS after I hadn't played mine for weeks, and I finally played around to golf today. And
did you beat me?
No, I'm tied for 4th or 5th.
Ooh.
But I finally was like, hey, I can't use my Mii. Time for some gold Mario. Let me get all the coins.
Did you like that? Did you like the little mix?
Oh, we can't use me this time around?
I picked the characters that you're allowed to use.
Yeah,
that
you can
was
use the DLC characters or Yoshi and Wario.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
I
And then
two for DLC and 2 from the regular set.
and then it's super bouncy.
Well, who was the other DLC character?
Rosalina. You go
Yeah.
Rosalina or Gold Mario, or you could go
All right.
Wario and
I
Yoshi.
might have to play then. 'cause
It's
she's
fun.
my
It's-
bae.
People don't want to play the DLC courses? That's fine. You play against the DLC characters. I'll let you know though, I posted my 24 points using Yoshi. I didn't use the DLC.
I think I got 19.
It's a
I think
point
that's what I-
tournament, Caroline. You gotta get your round
Okay.
in. I think the round ends tomorrow. You gotta hurry.
Okay, I'll try.
It's funny you bring that up because I've been playing my 3DS almost nonstop. I finally got my cycle of 3DSs all together, and
Yeah.
I've been playing Mario. And then Callo was posting 3DS pictures of Mario and Luigi RPG. So I started playing Mario 3D Land all over again.
That's
and
what I thought. What
Yeah.
was that? What was that? The 80s racing game that was on sale. a couple times?
Ooh, I was gonna say
It's like-
Overdrive.
The 80s Overdrive. I think that was.
I
It's
love
like
that game.
Outrun.
The
But
game's
I
really
thought
good.
I was gonna buy that when it was on sale because I had the credit in my account. But unfortunately, once I traded in my Wii U, I am very paranoid to keep my
Makes sense.
ID
gotcha.
linked. So I connected it long enough to redeem, and I didn't do it. And so most recently, when I got the DLC, actually, I connected it long enough to buy the DLC, and then I disconnected it again.
Maybe Daniel can tell us, but there's a game very similar coming to Switch soon. So you might want to hold off anyway.
Okay.
It's a mobile game. Tonight's episode is titled Octopath Eve because we are, ladies and gentlemen, on the eve of Octopath, the next big exclusive installment into the Nintendo Switch library, which drops this Friday. The big RPG with the retro modern style graphics. So we've got questions to go over this, but first, Caroline, as she takes another swig of soda, I want to ask you, one, we know you're excited about the game. We're all excited about the game. You got the Wayfarers Edition. Jason, are you getting the Wayfarers Edition or the standard?
I don't know what I'm getting.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm getting. I won't know until it gets here because
Gotcha.
awesome people, when people took pity on my soul apparently and did awesome things for me. That was one of the games I was gifted, and I don't know what I'm getting. So
Okay. I'm just getting the standard edition.
I'm hoping it's just a standard edition because if people chipped in to buy me the Wayfarers Edition, that's not necessary.
I think it might be the Wayfarers Edition, Jason. But we'll see. We'll
It's okay. We can have our
tune in
cute
next
little.
week. Hey, Caroline, tell everybody about the game. Let's drop a little knowledge.
So the game is in the same vein as if anybody's played the Bravely Default series. You got your Bravely series kind of meets Final Fantasy VI, where you go and you start out with one person and then you go around and you collect all the other characters to join you on your party on your way. And you get to start with anybody that you want out of the 8 people. And from there, you play through that person's original chapter 1 story, and then just start going out through the world, and you come across these other 7 people, and you get to have their chapter 1 told, and then once their chapter 1 is done, they join your party. And so it's just kind of you all have a certain task or a certain reason that you're going out into the world and doing this stuff, but you're all doing it together. Or it ends up being you're doing it all
I was
together.
going to ask, do all of their stories meld together at the end, or do we know?
I'm not sure.
We don't know?
I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
But for instance, when I started the demo for this most recent demo, Hanet is the huntress, and she is going out to find her master who taught her the ways of hunting and stuff because he's missing and he's in trouble. And I went down a little ways and I found the thief who, through his story, actually gets in trouble by trying to do some thievery and in order to get out of it, he made a deal with a very rich lady who has had some stuff stolen from her that she wants him to get back. So I've met up those two together, and they have completely different aims, but they're going to travel the world together.
Okay.
And I assume that you're going to get all, everybody together, and they all have different reasons that they're going out and doing things. But you're traveling as this group, and you're braving monsters together as this group.
I've seen tweets that say the first 4 characters you do become your party, and you may not be able to switch them out.
I don't know about that, but I know that you can only have 4 out at a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you might be able to switch them out.
Yeah.
Though.
Okay. I think I read that the initial character you choose, that will essentially be your main character, and they'll be in your party.
True, yes.
They'll be in their party.
You can't get past that first character, so everybody choose wisely. The first one will always be there.
I loved the girl that I chose. So
Then you're set.
I didn't want to start over, do the demo over just because I liked her so much.
But there's job classes, different stuff to dive into.
Yeah.
So Bravely, it's going to be deep.
Donnie, did you play the demo?
I have
the most recent one?
Yet played the demo.
Dude, what's wrong with you?
Caroline, I'm playing the Mario Rabbids DLC instead.
Oh, nice. I might have a noob question for you, because you've played the demo. I'm assuming I went with Ophelia as my first character, and then I've actually I made it to Hanet's area, and she's my first party member. But I'm assuming most starting area is going to be the same. You do your intro quest, and then you kind of get some freedom, and then you can get some side missions there. I'm trying to figure out, are those immediately, is it possible to complete those, or do I need to go somewhere else first? Because I had a couple for Ophelia, and one, there's for instance, there's someone that's in a prison, and I'm like, okay, clearly he's been wrongly imprisoned, and I'm sure I need to, there's someone that clearly witnessed what happened. I was like, okay, because her skill is she can guide people, so she can have people follow her, and I was like, okay, clearly I need to bring some people together to prove this person's innocent. But I'm like, this is a time demo. I'm not going to waste a lot of time trying to do this, because I want to keep playing.
I believe you can go back to those things, because there was, in Hanet's place when I started, there was a locked treasure chest. Then I got over to Therion, who is the thief, and he can actually pick locks. So I know for a fact that he would be the only one to do that, but it was in Hanet's area. So
I figured some crossover might be required to do some of it.
I think they really want you to make sure you go back to these places with a full party once you get everybody.
So you're going to start as Hanet. Jason, are you going to start as Ophelia, or are you just messing around?
I'm torn, because I wasn't sure, but I mean, I do really enjoy the character, so I guess it just comes down to if I want to throw out that progress. But because I really did Ulbricht's story as well, and I like Primrose, but at the same time, it's I've already played as those two, so I'm
going to go as Primrose or Tressa.
But I don't know, Cyrus might be cool, the Scholar, or even
Jason just
Tressa
names the rest of the characters.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm going to go Tressa the Merchant, because that just sounds right? Yeah. Or Primrose.
With Ophelia, the nice thing is, she's a cleric, so I already have someone with a healing ability. So that's nice to have right off the bat. And she's kind of almost like a battle, I think of a monk in a way. She's got healing, but she's physically adept as well. Now I've got Hanet as well, so it's
Hanet's awesome.
I'm in a pretty good spot already. So
she has a snow leopard that is just. She can grab.
Caroline's been talking about the cats this person has for 8 months.
But she can go out, and most every monster available to be tamed, she can tame, and you get to keep it for X amount of uses that it has. So she can tame these pigs, and these pigs give you 500 HP when you use them. So nice. It's better than using a regular heal. She's very useful, and I'm very glad that I chose her to start, because I was slaying. I didn't die once.
Slaying.
It won't work on Miley Cyrus though.
Nice. So the game comes out Friday.
She can't be tamed.
By all accounts I've seen on Twitter, because I will admit, I have not been diving into this one, because 1, I'm not sure when I'm going to start it, and 2, I want to legit be surprised. But the review embargo is up tomorrow, And one of the things I wanted to talk about was there's been some Twitter speculation, at least on my feed and the folks I follow, about reviewers not having finished the game. So just to add a little talking point controversy into here, do you guys think a reviewer should finish the game before they're allowed to give you an opinion on it?
When did they get the game? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Well, even without that, like if a reviewer just gave you a review without completing it, like is that okay with you? Do you?
No, I want to know about the mechanics. I want to experience the story I want to experience the story for myself.
Get good, guys.
I want to be. There's people that have said that Skyward Sword is crap, but I personally love Skyward Sword for the story. And I'm not going to let a review saying, "Oh, well, the gameplay and the mechanics are really bad and stuff."
Well, that wasn't really the. I just want to know, like, this game is huge. It's a long game.
Yeah,
I could understand not being able to finish it. Like,
with an RPG, it's a daunting task. Like, I mean, Earth Atlantis, I didn't finish that game, and that's why I reviewed it the way it did, because it was like I couldn't stand to play that game anymore. So I think in certain aspects, yes, but with like an RPG, I mean, these are humans. There's physical limitations to how much you can play. So
I
how
can't
much
beat
time
Hollow Knight. I gave you my opinion on Hollow Knight. I think it's amazing. I can't beat it. Like, I didn't beat it. And that was really the ultimate point I was going to try to make, because I've seen this being bannered around, and I expect maybe it'll become more fervent tomorrow. I think it's fine to write a review about a game that you haven't beat, as long as you let the reader know you haven't beaten the game.
Yeah.
Like, just blatantly state, here's how long I played the game to write this review. I think that's fine.
Yeah, you're going to get a good idea of like the mechanics and the concepts.
I can play any game in 5 hours and pretty much give you an opinion on the game.
Yeah.
But we have a question for Octopath. It comes from Kyle over there at the board with Video Games Crew, and he goes, if I can only buy one game this Friday, do I buy Captain Toad or Octopath Traveler?
Is this a joke? I like Captain Toad. I haven't ever played Captain Toad. I think Captain Toad is adorable.
You never played it?
No, I own it for Wii U, but I never played it, dude. You gotta go with Octopath. Like, it depends on how much money you've got, number one. Because I think Captain Toad's gonna be a little bit cheaper than Octopath.
Like 50?
No brainer. I think you can. Is it $49.99?
I think it's 50 on Switch, 40 on 3DS.
Okay. Well, dude, you're gonna get so many more hours out of Octopath. Yeah. It's not even funny.
Like, Captain Toad would be, I think, a great game that he and his wife could play together. But it sounds like his wife isn't really too keen on the Switch anyway. That from what he said, that she just doesn't like it. So it sounds like just get the game for yourself, and Octopath, that's the one.
To be a little contrarian, I would say that my daughter has beaten Captain Toad twice. I played the 3DS demo.
Dude, Mummy Me Maze forever.
I have beaten Captain Toad. It's one of the games that I have beaten. Captain Toad's freaking awesome. Like, it is a really good game. Caroline, you owe it to yourself to play it. It's really fun.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's really, really fun. Captain Toad is super cute. That's the reason. I mean, like, yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Chat confirms.
Kowalski says $40 for both versions.
Ooh, there you go. So, yeah, you get a $20 discount. So, the only thing I would say is, I mean, really, I think the answer to this question is pretty simple. Do you want to get lost in a 80 to 100 hour RPG, or do you want a game that you can pick up and play and have fun and it's got like some whimsy to it? I know he already has Lumines, so maybe he's not looking for that. Like, if you want the big dive in big game, Octopath. If you're just looking for a really fun time, Captain Toad. It's pretty simple between those two. So, yeah, next week I won't be here, but Caroline and Jason will be, and they'll be able to tell you all about. I have no idea when I'm going to get to Octopath, by the way, because I'm doing Rabbids DLC.
Okay, I feel it's kind of a blessing that you're going to be gone, because that's all we're going to be talking about.
There you go. Because I'm going to do Rabbids. I'm hoping to do Splatoon, and then I'm still working on Xeno, and then at some point I'll get started on Octopath. But it'll be a while. I may not even start Octopath until like late August at this rate. So it'll be interesting. But I did want to talk a little bit about what we've been playing before we leave. And I'd like to say that both Jason and I have reviews out for Switch indie games this past week. I have reviewed The Lion Song, the game that Caroline and I discussed on Shack a few weeks ago. I really, really like it. If you're a fan of Telltale or narrative adventure games, it's right down that alley. If you're a person that enjoys The arts, whether it be painting or music, it's right down that alley. So there's a lot of different ways. It's I think I beat it in about 6 hours, which is apparently longer than most, which is about norm for me. Yeah, I really like it. It's a mature game, right? A lot of relationship, adult themes going on.
I started to watch your stream of it that you posted online. So yeah, Donnie's played it on there too.
And I did enjoy the first chapter more than the others. The third chapter I thought was really long. And like the third, it is weird because the third chapter is like really, they kind of set up the ending and a lot of things begin to connect. And that I was just like, God, can we get on with it? Like by the end of it, like, it's like when you get to the end, it's worth it. But getting to the end, it's like, did we really have to do all of that? Like I could have lived without half of that. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I gave it an 8 or an 80, whatever you want to. That's what I did. I gave it a B. However, whatever scale you want to equate it to. I think it's really good. Of the indie games I've played on Switch, it's one of the best. It's up there. It's in the better that upper tier. It's not Hollow Knight good, but it's definitely really good. Jason, what have you been playing?
Yeah, I did a review for Miles and Kilo. That's on the PSVG.
Oh, yeah.
You can check it out. It's like cutesy. It's very much looks like Lucas brought up a good point. We were talking about it looks like Adventure Island a little bit in visuals, but it's. I think of it as a runner. A lot of people will call it as a platformer. I think of it strictly as a runner. That's exactly what it was like. And it's not a long game. Like I did I think the time trial, I think you can get through every level in like 40 minutes or so. So, I mean, but it's fun. It's a nice palate cleanser, I'd say. It's challenging, but fair. It's a fun game, I think. And it's an aggressive price point. So I encourage people to check that out. And due to encouragement from one of my Discord servers, I fell back into Hollow Knight again, and I finished off everything I wanted to do with the game. So I've done everything I wanted to do with Hollow Knight. I've gotten all the endings I wanted to get. I got through all the hard sections I wanted to get. I got all the upgrades I wanted to get. So I can finally, like, once I did it, I had this huge sense of accomplishment, but then at the same time I was like, the urge to play anything else was gone. I was like, finally, I was just like, yes.
You're at peace.
I can step away. And plus I made sure, because I knew I played a lot of this game handheld. I knew I wanted to clear the Coliseum of Fools, as it's called, streaming. And I did. So I have it recorded gameplay of me finally getting through it. I'm just like, yes!
Nice.
So it feels so good to just be done with that game. And I thought I was going to 100% it, but now I'm like, I'm
really jealous that he's beaten this game and I've given up on it. At some point I'm going to go back to it. It's really good. It's that good.
After 40 hours, I think I'm good. I think I've done all I need to do, seen all I need to see. So
I can't believe you played it that long.
I know, and this is so funny because up until this point, I was just like, Donnie was always like, "Hollow Knight, I'm so excited for it," and we were just like, "Eh." And then at E3, it was like it showed it, and it's like it's out now, and I was like, "Well, I guess I'm gonna get it."
My excitement was warranted, was it not?
Yeah, it's a great game.
It's a great game.
According to Metacritic, it's got recent games scores. It's number 2 behind Celeste right now on Switch for recent games.
Personally, I would rank it higher than Celeste. I'm about through World 3 in Celeste, and while I guess I get it, I just don't think like the quality is the same. Well, the quality is not right. Like Celeste is definitely quality. Maybe the offering isn't as full. It's not as robust as the Hollow Knight offering is. Like the Hollow Knight Odyssey is much grander of an experience, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Caroline, what you been playing?
I've been kind of like on a hiatus, so to speak. Like, just I'm not getting too in depth into anything because I wanted to make sure that I had nothing that was interfering with my Octopath hype and my Octopath ability to just sit down on Friday and play. But over the weekend when we went to my in-laws, we have to travel a ways to get over there, and definitely put Breath of the Wild in my Switch and kind of just had fun meandering around.
Gotta hold off for Devin to buy a Switch, and then we'll all play Breath of the Wild again. Everybody publicly shame him so we can all play Breath of the Wild again.
Yeah. I've made it up past the 400 mark on the Korok seeds, and I just... Jeez. Like, dude, I'm like still wandering around, but I don't find them as often as I figured I would for there to be 900. No, there's 900. I haven't even found half.
You found them all. You win. We will send you a gold ribbon. You've done it. You found 400 of them.
I want the gold poop. I want the gold poop. So, it's just one of those games that I like to just go back to and appreciate.
It's so good.
And yeah, just being able to wander around and ride my horse and
Yeah.
so
when I
much
got
fun.
the 3DS, the Hyrule 3DS, I posted a picture. I booted up a new copy of Ocarina of Time, and I messed around, got my sword, my shield, and I was like, kind of feeling that Zelda itch. And I was like, I better put this down before I just like get lost in Ocarina again. So I'm starting to feel it. Like Devin needs to hurry up already because I'm ready to play some Zelda again. And,
Not happening.
It's gonna happen. Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
No.
Trust me. There have been private DMs shared. It will happen. It's just a matter of when. It will happen. I did mention I've been playing the Mario Rabbids DLC, the Donkey Kong DLC, Donkey Kong Adventure, and
How is it?
I'm not even through. I'm at the boss on World 2. So I'm not even really that far in, just a couple hours. I do love the one thing I want to say about this for Shaq is I wouldn't be surprised if this game came standalone KART in the fall. I would not be surprised at all if they branched this out as its own game, kind of like Luigi's, Luigi U. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case because when you start up the game, it has its own menu. Like it's completely separated. Everything's completely separate. Like it has its own style. It starts you back from the beginning, which I really appreciated because even from the beginning, I'm like, how do I play this game again? It's been so long, like I've forgotten everything. And it really kind of, it's kind of like a separate game. It's like a second game. It's not as long apparently, but it's close.
Oh,
it's
that's
half.
really
It's more than
good.
half. Yeah.
Me being a physical collector and not having bought the DLC for Rabbids yet, I think that would be.
I would
something
not be
definitely.
surprised at all if Ubisoft dropped a Donkey Kong Rabbids Adventure game for $29.99 this fall. We get that in the
Sweet.
direct. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I'd bet on it. After having seen the way they're packaging and all that, I would bet on it. It feels like that. That's what it feels like. It feels like maybe, if I had to postulate or speculate, I'd believe that they started with a much smaller vision for the DLC, like maybe a world. And then the game took off and they were like, oh, people really like this. And then they added to
Why
it.
it took them a year.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, we can spin this off as a separate release and it'll pad Nintendo's calendar and put it in the holiday. It'll sell. It wouldn't surprise me at all. So hopefully by the time I make it back to Shaq, I'll have beaten it. Hopefully. I'm trying not to play a whole lot of games on vacation, but I will be bringing the Switch with me and the dock. And then, so I'd like to get through that and then start on the Octoling stuff. So you guys do Octopath.
Nice.
I'll come back with DLC updates, and at some point we'll meet again. So
At some point.
with that, I guess that's the end. You guys got anything else you want to cover before we sign off here?
Nope. I
Nope.
just think. Oh well,
Go ahead, do it.
When's this going up?
Friday morning.
Caroline's leaving us for streaming.
No, I'm not.
Sean
For a
Capri
while.
has invited
Yeah.
her to If We Ran Nintendo, thus killing the Nintendo Shack.
No. So it will go live after this goes live on our podcasting areas, iTunes, etc. Tomorrow night we are recording. Tomorrow night being the 12th. Kevin and I are going to be recording PSVG along with the gentleman that curate and wrote the book History of Video Games in 64 Objects.
That's pretty
And
awesome.
it's going to be fantastic. The book is wonderful. If you guys are looking for just like an interesting read about the things that kind of like staples in the video game world, this thing goes all the way back to 1940s games up through stuff just from last year. And it's a great read. I'm not finished with it yet, but it's a very good hybrid of a chapter book and a coffee table book. So I highly recommend it. It's great.
Good plug. So before you sign off, before we let Jason sign off, tell everybody where they can find you, Caroline.
I am the Nintendame on Twitter. You can find me there. I will be on PSVG tomorrow night. I am also on Arcadia Academia. We just had a new episode go live about Michael Jackson's Moonwalker for the Genesis. And it's super fun, super fun. I love doing that show with Kevin. And anyway, yeah, you can find me on the Discord and the Make Us Better Discord. I'm there, griping about my day.
Jason?
Yeah, I'm on the Twitterverse, JW Lacey. That's all you need to know. It's the only cool thing I do. I don't do anything fun. Just there.
Come on. Get
No,
on
I don't
that
need
attitude.
to-
He's on
I don't
If We
need
Ran
to-
Nintendo, and he
I
just
don't need
flex
to
the
plug-
pose.
I don't
Jason's
need
the
to plug
coolest
my
guy in
stuff.
video games. Everybody wants him on their show. Except for
Everybody.
PSVG, apparently. That's a Kevin thing you gotta do.
They don't. Yeah, he doesn't want me. He's just like, he's too busy. It's too busy for me. And I am.
You can find me over on Twitter at Play Nintendo. Ain't no G's in Play Nintendo. And signing off for my holiday. Everybody, Godspeed. I can't tell you how excited I am to not go to work for a while.
Yeah, right.
My boss hates how I always do this because I'm off Friday through the weekend, through the following week, through Monday. And he hates
That's
how I
awesome.
always do that. He's just like, you always take Friday, Monday. It's like, you gotta shorten my week up, man.
And then you look at him and you go, because I can.
It takes a minute to get back
As you
into
walk
the
out.
flow. That's right. That's true. I've earned it.
Yep.
So with that, good night, Koopalings, and thanks for tuning in. Make sure you check out all the cool things we're doing over there at the PSVG Podcast Network, now officially a member of the Make Us Better community. Come check out our Discord, which you can find the link on our blog at psvg.blog or on our Twitter account at psvg. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Hashtag PSVG takeover.
Oh, yeah. That's what it's been. If you haven't been there a few days, we've basically just taken over.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
We're like parasites.
And as Kevin would always sign off, remember, boys and girls, never stop gaming. Whenever you're ready.
All right. This is Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening. And I forgot the line already. What?
This has been a production of the Play Some Video Games Podcast Network. Find more great content at playsomevideogames.com.